Oh. No. Yeah. I remember that night under the Garibaldi. You told me you were tired of lies. Your gaze was like broken glass reflecting the moon, and I believed we could fix everything with a kiss. I thought love was a simple thing, like breathing, like coffee in the morning. But you were complicated, beautiful, impossible, and I was just a boy who couldn't swim. Everything is possible when you believe tomorrow will be different. Everything is possible until you see the truth in your eyes. Everything is possible, everything is possible. But we were, no, we were, no, we were, no. I remember your text at 3 a.m. full of sarcasm and pain. Maybe I'm the love you can't recognize. You broke me with that phrase, like a guitar in the hands of an angry child. And I laughed because crying was too easy. Your photos on that wall, the ones you erased, I still see the shadows where you remain. You promised forever, but you counted the days like a prison. I was your favorite mistake, right? Everything is possible when the heart is still whole. Everything is possible before you understand that love isn't enough. Everything is possible, everything is possible. But we were fragile like wet paper. You said I was your favorite song, but then you paused me and never started again. Your hands touched for mine in the dark, but they no longer knew how to be together. The time you cried for a whole hour without saying anything. I was next to you, but you were already far away. Like mountains looking at each other from different continents. Beautiful, but destined to never touch. I saw you kiss your phone when my message arrived, as if I were just another thing, a notification, a distraction among others. And I kept writing because the silence was even worse. At least that way I could pretend you still wanted me. We built a cardboard castle in your apartment, dancing on the hardwood floors like no one could see us. But people saw, everyone saw, we were slowly falling apart. And you smiled like you were winning a war. Everything is possible when you're willing to lose. Everything is possible until you understand that enough. Everything is possible, everything is possible. But we were two people who loved each other. The last time I kissed you, I knew it was the end. Your taste was bitter like cold coffee the next morning. And I memorized every detail like a museum of memories that no one visits, because museums are made for dead things. You tell me you're happy now that you found someone else, and I pretend to be happy for you. But inside there's a closed room where we still dance on the hardwood floors, where you still believe I'm your impossible love. Maybe everything was possible if we'd had the courage to stop sooner. If we'd understood that loving isn't always the same as staying. You were my first great pain, my hardest lesson. And I was your mirror that showed everything you didn't want to see. Now when I hear that song you love, that changed the station. And when I pass by Garibaldi Bridge, I look the other way. Because ghosts are kinder when you don't face them, and we're just ghosts who don't know how to leave. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. And that's okay. Everything is possible when you live. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. For you understand that love is just a word. Everything is possible. But we were, and that's okay. Everything is possible when you let go. Everything is possible when you understand that love is just a word. Everything is possible. Everything is possible except for us two.